With the new episode of Camp Camp finally being released around a month ago, you could say fans were extremely excited about it, and it makes sense as to why. Camp Camp hadn't gotten any new content since 2019, and yeah, there is many reasons as to why this may be, but that's not what we're going to talk about today. Today I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on the special episode in general, and where I think it failed, and where I think it absolutely succeeded. Let's get into it. Camp Camp's newest episode, With Friends Like These, is a half an hour long special. A special split into two parts, essentially. That's where the first issue comes in. You see, while the second part of the episode gets talked about and praised a lot, the first part of the episode felt, well, without a lack of a better word, pointless. The whole plot of the trio thinking everyone hates them is a little bit weird. Like, I understand where they are coming from, and I understand where the writers were going with this, but they are acting like they never saw trash talking before, when they absolutely did. Hell, they even did it themselves back in Quarter Moon Convergence, and probably many more episodes, especially Max. It's like they got amnesia or something, or maybe it's a Deus Ex Machina spell, who knows. Not to mention that the lesson they end up learning is very problematic. That it's okay for your friends to say rude things to you or about you behind your back because they are your friends. That is a very bad lesson to learn in the grand scheme of things, especially for a bunch of 10-year-olds like themselves. Also, what on earth happened to David in this part of the episode? David basically got hit with the dum-dum ray in the first half. He ignored everything around him and continued following the latest trends on the app Campbell made, which is weird because I thought he stopped trusting Cameron, but okay. I don't know, it feels very stupid for David to just leave Gwen behind to do all the work like that. Not to mention, this brings up a lot of timeline confusion, because supposedly the events of Camp Camp take place in 2016, right? How on earth are people using trends and slang from 2023? Solve that one, fandom, I dare you. Generally, the first half felt like a pointless time waster. But now we come to the second half. That's where I think this episode succeeded, in its second half. After all this hullabaloo is over, the kids realize it's the final week of summer camp. All the kids are sad about it, of course, but they adapt to the news very quickly. Max, however, does not.
You got what you wanted, and now you're taking it all away? I'm not sad, David. I'm livid.
In Max's world, this place that he loved and grew to love, it's closing, shutting down. David essentially got what he wanted. He got Max to like camp. The other kids are working on building the greatest thing for the end of summer ever, and Max just kind of down about everything. More than usual, which is weird. So David decides to do something about it, and first he tries to talk to Max in some form of way to cheer him up. But that doesn't end up working because David didn't try to understand things from Max's perspective. But that's okay, because he does get to try again. He takes Max out on a hike, which implies they do this often because of how little Max was surprised by it. And Max obviously expects David to give him some sugar-coated lesson that he knows won't change his mind.
But both their ideologies are correct, right? Max does say this in the episode.
Well, that's where you are wrong, ominous voice in my head. Both of them are incorrect. As David says, nobody knows what's going to happen. One day you're at a summer camp you hate. Next thing you know, you don't want to leave. Your whole ideology can be flipped around in an instant and you won't even be aware of it. Max's whole logic was to have a pessimistic outlook on life because he assumed nothing good could possibly come from it. Camp definitely flipped his logic around multiple times because he found people who care about him there. He was in a loving and in a caring environment. David's optimistic outlook was toxically positive, but due to Max's influence, you could say, he mostly realized how bad it was, hence why it was toned down. In general, they didn't know this would happen, but that's fine, because it's for the better that it's this way. David also gives Max a camera, most likely because he knows of Max's attachment issues. A camera could help him preserve memories, you know? Then there's a whole chaotic scene where the robot the kids built. Oh yeah, did I mention that? Well, I did now. Yeah, that thing goes haywire and it falls into the lake exploding fireworks. What a great way to end the day, huh guys? Max takes a photo of the fireworks and then we get a nice montage of absolutely tear-jerking cry potential. Thanks a lot, Camp. Then all the campers leave to go home. So yeah, that's the... Wait, what do you mean there's a post-credit scene? Oh my god! So that's it for this special episode. Like my review implied, I definitely think it could have and should have been handled better. And especially since, Cam has been on basically hiatus for like 3 years, like we deserved more. But since we are getting more episodes in early 2024, it's not that big of a deal, I think. But that's basically it. I hope you all enjoyed. Do you disagree with my points? If so, leave your opinions in the comments. Bye bye, my sapphires.